Why do you think you're teaching your kids tolerance if you take them to a family-friendly drag show and you have a grown-ass man shaking around in a thong? If you're a child, if you're a teenager, if you're any sort of today's youth, and you were thinking of leaving your parents to run off to a sanctuary state where everyone's going to embrace you and celebrate your gender and your identity, you should remember your parents are the ones that gave you life. Your parents are the ones that raised you. Somebody that's just going to affirm everything you say, that is not your friend. Hey all, your favorite bi woman tea is back. And you already know what I'm about to ask. Hit that subscribe button. You already know you're gonna keep coming back. You already know you love that bi woman tea. Heck, I love her too. Not to sound like a narcissist, but all right, so let's get into it. Today's video is going to be about a controversial topic. I do urge, if you're woke, do not watch this video. If you are one of those teachers from TikTok that likes to hand out pronoun pins and talk about gender unicorns, do not watch this video. Or actually, maybe you should watch this video so that you could learn something. Today's video is about gender non-conforming youth. And to the parents of gender non-conforming youth, let's say you have a son that likes pink. He screams and goes crazy when he sees Barbie. It's like, it's the latest Barbie! Nothing wrong with that at all. But that does not mean your son is a woman or a girl and that you need to immediately bring him to a gender clinic and transition him and pump his body full of hormones and chemicals. If you have a girl that loves G.I. Joe, that loves sports, that is just overall very masculine, that does not mean you have to jump on the woke bandwagon and rush her into gender affirming care. When it came to feeling out of place, and when it came to let's say kicking the guys' asses at dodgeball, not having an interest in, let's say, getting together and dancing to the Spice Girls. I didn't have that 90s girl persona where I was all like, oh my God, this cute boy, oh my God. That was not me. But like they say, be the change that you want to see in the world. If you're a gender non-conforming person, even if you're not a child or a teenager or somebody that falls into the youth category, there are two genders in this world. I know the woke mob is going to hate me for saying that, but there are two genders and infinite personalities. There's not one way to be a woman. There's not one way to be a man. And to lie to a child and say you could possibly be the opposite sex or you could be in the wrong body based on certain characteristics or certain feelings of yours, that is not correct. Why do you have to make a child feel bad and agree that there is something wrong with them? If you see an anorexic woman, are you going to just affirm that she is overweight? Are you not going to try to help her, let her recognize that she has some sort of illness or trauma that's causing her to undereat? So to just put a child through that, you are not a good person if you do that. This is A major reason, aside from inflation, aside from the economy, aside from all the conflicts in the world, this is a major reason why I walked away from the Democratic Party. You all really jumped off the wall. I remember when LGBT rights was about marriage equality, ending violence on LGBT people. It was on gay adoption. But now it's like, oh, you have to affirm my pronouns. I need your constant validation. And also, if your child says they're the opposite gender, people advocate for taking away the child if the parent that's parenting and raising that child has to have their child taken away if they're not in line with woke ideology. To break up the family, to take children away from parents, that is not cool. I do hope this helps somebody out there. What I don't like about gender ideology is they say they're against sex-based stereotypes, but then people that don't conform with sex-based stereotypes, they're automatically claiming these people are trans or they're non-binary or there's something wrong with them. We need to transition them. If a man lights scented candles, he's still a man. If a man enjoys the scent of roses, he's still a man. If a woman enjoys going to see the Mets baseball game, she's still a woman. If a woman enjoys staying up all night, playing video games, playing that PS2 with her closest guy friends, with her brothers, with her cousins, still a woman. And to those of you that say, like, I'm transphobic, I have no heart, trust me, I have a lot of heart for these people. I have a lot of love in my soul for them. I don't want to see somebody that's going through mental distress. Maybe there's so many reasons why a person could transition. To just affirm everything they're saying when they may not be in the right mindset, that is not being a good friend. That is not being a good family member. There's some women, let's say sadly, that may have been raped or sexually assaulted, and they feel, okay, if I live my life as a man, I won't have to worry about unwanted gazes from men. I won't have to worry about a man coming after me. I won't be the object of male desire. It could be a fear of just wanting to escape your identity. Perhaps you went through so much trauma, it's like, wow, now I could adopt a whole new identity. I could kill off my old self and I could be this whole new person. And I really urge you to listen to what those detransitioners in my detransition video had to say. To those of you that would say people like myself, people like Blaire, Amir, and a lot of the other LGBT people, and even my straight people that I love Greg from Black Conservative Perspective, James Klug, Billboard Chris, and many others. I can't think of everyone off the top of my head, but to say that such people are filled with hatred because they're not immediately affirming one's identity. There's so many reasons why a person may go into that state. Even for me as a kid, like, there were times I wished I was a man. I felt men were stronger. I felt I would be safer going outside if I were a man. There were just so many reasons why I felt like it would be better. And had some psycho affirmed this and told my parents, okay, we're taking your daughter from you if you don't let her transition, because what would you rather have, a dead daughter or a living son?
You are fake news.
Okay, I didn't want to go off cursing in this video, but if someone said something to my parents, and today I was living as a male because I told a teacher, well, I kind of wish I was a man. You know, I really don't feel comfortable in dresses. I can't really relate to the girls when they talk about being in love with the Backstreet Boys, or I don't know, whoever girls were in love with when I was growing up. And I mean, it's honestly, it's not that I never had a guy crush growing up. I actually did have, you're gonna laugh when I say this. You know who my guy crush was growing up? Uncle Jesse from Full House. So, I mean, I can't say that I never had like a crush on a member of the opposite sex growing up, but just like there were a lot of things about me that were like socially awkward. I fell outside the lines of how most girls traditionally acted. Anyway, I really urge parents, to the parents watching this, I really urge you, know your child's teachers, know your child's friends, know the influences around your child. To any woke parents watching this, why do you think you're teaching your kids tolerance if you take them to a family-friendly drag show and you have a grown-ass man shaking around in a thong?
Feeling like a woman.
How is that teaching them tolerance? It's not. And also, and I don't just mean this for Christians, but whether you're a Christian, Jewish, or any other religion, get involved in your religion. Go to groups, go to church, go to synagogue, go to mosque. I feel faith does play a part in one's heart and one's values. You don't need religion to have good values, but at the same time, with the lack of religion in today's world, there's just so much godlessness that getting involved in churches and such, or any religious groups, I feel it is something positive. And if you're a child, if you're a teenager, if you're any sort of today's youth, and you are watching this and you are thinking of leaving your parents to run off to a sanctuary state where everyone's going to embrace you and celebrate your gender and your identity, you should remember your parents are the ones that gave you life. Your parents are the ones that raised you. And somebody that's just going to affirm everything you say, that is not your friend. And also, to be truly content with yourself, you don't need to consistently have people celebrate your identity. Me personally, if I went into a room with people that said they were going to lay out the bi flag for me and they were going to throw purple, pink, and blue confetti at me and say, "We love you, oh my God!" and they were going to like throw like a whole celebration, I would tell them, please, STFU. That is not my whole identity. There's more to me as a person. And there's more to you as a person. And at your age, again, I'm talking to the LGBT youth or the potential LGBT youth, so much of your life is going to change. You could still very well be LGBT, but you may not have the mental capacity to realize the harmful effects of these changes on your body. And just know, someone like Kamala, someone like Tim Walz, someone like Admiral Levine, those people are not your friends. People that tell you there is something wrong with you and we need to carve you up, not your friend. I wish I had tea when I was growing up. And I mean tea as in myself tea, not the type of tea that a woke doctor gives children. No way. But I really, really hope that things get better for LGBT youth and that the solution is not to trans the gay away. That if you see a tomboyish girl that's same-sex attracted, to just say, okay, maybe you're really a boy, And then you could actually be heterosexual. There's nothing wrong. That's another thing about gender ideology, is it's very anti-gay when you really look into it. Because a lot of people that transition, not all, but a lot of people that transition are attracted to the sex they were born as. So to transition them, and then they later on appear heterosexual, that's like saying there's something bad about being gay or lesbian or bisexual. So it's actually anti-LGB. But these people claim to be the most tolerant in the world. But to the adults watching, let's do better for all youth. And also to all youth watching this, you should not be so worried about if you're a heterosexual, a homosexual, a bisexual. You should be focused on your studies. You should be focused on finding what your passions are, what you're going to be good at in this world. Anyway, as we end this video, I also just want to say, I put this in the description box in all my videos, but I understand this could be overlooked. If you ever have a question or you want to reach out to me personally and you don't want to post it in the comments, you're always welcome to email me at thatboywomant@gmail.com. It's in my description box. And I have a very philanthropic heart. I do like to help people. You can be you. You can be your authentic self, but that does not require changing your body. You were born in the right body, and do not let anybody tell you otherwise. Anyway, this has been your favorite boy woman T. This is a crazy world we live in, but if this video helps just one gender non-conforming child, I would consider that a blessing to this world. Just remember, you're perfect the way you are. Anyway, feel free to share this video if you think there's somebody that this could also help. That said, this has been your favorite boy woman T. Have a great night.